What's up? Do not forget to subscribe to my smart freaking hitbox tutorial. Make games fast this way. If there's tutorials up here, feel free to click on those, guys. Smart hitboxes are hitboxes that don't need a hitbox in order for it to detect. All it really needs is a impact, if that makes sense. And the hitbox is sort of with Dreams magic pre-calculated for you, if that makes sense. So without a box, or you can choose to put a box on it, and I'll show you how to do that correctly in unison with a laser scope. First, showcase, and if you want to follow me in Dreams, I'm Young Text YouTube in Dreams. Young Text on YouTube, subscribe freaking here, guys, and hit the bell. Young Text on Twitch, guys. Go to the channel playlist, click my channel name, go to my channel playlist for tutorials on anything, logic, sculpting, animation, music, and more. You can learn all this stuff fast if you guys are waiting to freaking make that masterpiece. So let's go ahead and jump in. This one's a good one. Alright, I hope you guys are enjoying it. So how would you do this with Zone, with a hitbox for the health manager and health modifier? These are our hitbox gadgets. So this is how you would do it with Zone. What you would want to do is pull out a laser scope. Since it's going to be detecting if player is, your character, is in the zone in order for it to modify. So let me go ahead and pull out the players one real quick. I pulled out the... So my player is labeled as friend. So if friend is in this hitbox, then it will take damage. But it'll only turn on if the player is in the laser scope. The laser scope will send a hit setting to a keyframe, which I recorded turning this on. So that's how all that's working. So let me show you how to record with this. Press L1 and X with this. Then just hit the button right there. You can press triangle to undo, or you can press the undo button. So since the player has to be in the accurate location, close enough for this to take damage, so the player would have to be in this range right here for the tail swipe attack in order for this to turn on and him to take damage. That's how that works. This is how you can do that. With this one, you shouldn't have to plug this into affected objects since it's going off of labels. If your character is invisible or anything like that, make sure you hit these and make sure you label your character by pressing L1 and square. You might have to press L1 and X on it. Then going to the settings that allow you to have the label right here. And that's how I am doing the zone settings. And you want this initially off, and you want, whenever the animation attack is happening, the point where the attack has reached the point where you want it to hurt, that's when you want this to turn on. Next, smart hitboxes. Let's jump right into it. So these hitboxes right here, those are smart hitboxes. What does Young Text mean by smart hitbox? Well, smart is whenever a computer knows to do something because you are over a command, and it just knows when to switch to making the process of whatever you're doing faster. So this is a smart hitbox. You want to set it to impact, then here you want to set this connect this to your character, and then connect it to the objects that will be able to hurt your character. I do believe it still goes off a label, so change the label to the character. So if this is hitting that, then the appropriate label needs to also be there. It's not going off a zone, it's going off of this. Then make sure you have the damage low. You don't want the damage too high for zone or impact. I have mine on like 100 health. And you can check out my how to make health bars tutorial. Persistent health, you want health to go the same level by level, like, let's see here, like Pokemon. So if you want to make easy health bars, check out my 2D FPS game. It's this kind of game type right here, and I explain all that there. Next, what you'll want to do is make sure you're in your Puppet microchip where you can see the health manager. You might need to connect this to the object, but usually whenever it's in the Puppet microchip, it instantly connects it for you. Set the health, and for fighting games I usually add cooldown, and I'll show you why. It's because whenever Mario loses a mushroom, you kind of want an invulnerability moment, and you can make animations during this process to where it's knockback and getting hurt. You'll just have to time it to the cooldown. And I'll open up my fighting game here in a second. It's one of the first, maybe my 4th game that I made. With the laser scope, here's how it's working, just in case I didn't explain it. It's actually not detecting the tag. You'll want to put a tag inside of your character, then have it pointing at that tag by putting the tag name right here. What it's detecting is the label. It's just pointing at the character. If you have no capitalize on your tag, make no capitals here. And you can mess around with these settings. I didn't have to. Continuous is how I did the lava. So for things like that, or for certain attacks for your enemies, put it on continuous. And this is how you can do hitboxes in 2020. This is an update that I do believe previously happened, or I was just able to find it out now how to actually do all of this. So again, appropriate labels. If you have this, then you'll, if there's 2 things selected for your labels in here, you want to make sure it's the same right here. That's kind of what this is. If you just want it to be 1, just press this. And impact is so useful, guys. You can make games like 1,000 times faster. As you can see, that's all I had to do. And I do believe it works like the settings of the impact sensor if you want to kind of get a feel of what impact is. So it's like a pre-rendered sensitivity. And hopefully these gadgets will improve in the future to where we can change the sensitivity for it. You can also choose to consider players. This might help if multiplayer ever comes, I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and exit out and open up the fighting game that I'm working on. Don't forget to follow me in Dreams. I'm Untouched YouTube in Dreams. Holy crap, guys. So my fighting game, scrolling over, there we go. We'll do this one. Show it off. And then we'll edit. So how would you easily apply this to a fighting game? With the health manager, you want to put remaining health into whatever your health bar sequence is, and then what you'll want to do is make it to where you drag the dot this way if it's a health bar instead of this way, because if you plug it into here, if you plug remaining health in there, it's going to be going backwards as you lose health. And that's how you make health bars. And that's that. For fighting games, I usually add cooldown for that invulnerability moment. Then all you have to do is lay down a health manager for smart hitboxes, set it to impact. Then connect the appropriate objects that do damage. Set what kind of thing it's going to affect. So we only want it to affect Pip. So I'm going to set this to friend. And then I'd want to make sure this is a different label other than friend. Then you'd want to take this off of 100, make it low, but not, you know, like in the 0 point something. And right there, we should be ready to start this up.
See y'all.
So that's smart hitboxes.